Alright, now we have a new chapter of Dr. Stone, Senkyu Ishigami, Dr. Zeno, and Stanley Snyder. These three have yet to be at the same place at the same time, and now they've narrowly avoided a proper encounter by a few tenths of a second. It's the Mad Max arc. They've taken off across South America in a squad of makeshift motorcycles. This is going to be fun. And Stanley has no real fast way of pursuing them. The whole idea of spending the time to get the rubber, to make the tires, to dismantle the boat, to make the engines, to make the motorcycle, all of that investment was because there's no other quick way to do this. There's no other fast way to get through the jungle. But on the other hand, Stanley is the cheat code level military expert, right? If anyone has just the human skills to get through the jungle quickly, it's going to be him. So this will be interesting. This will be an interesting sort of battle, race, adventure type thing. Net Breaking Battle Plan is the name of this one. There is our bike squad taken off. Where those come from? They must have built them during the sea voyage. Chrome is freaking out. They broke free from Stanley's net. Probably just the first phase. Phase 2 will be concentrated long-range firepower. Right. They do have the sniper rifle. It's going to be a while before they have gone past the max distance of a sniper rifle. I'm pretty sure people have made sniper rifle shots over like 4 miles. Which is kind of sickening. Best not to think about, you know, military activities if you're trying to have a fun time reading manga. Anyways. So yeah. Don't you think we should use the hostage as a shield? Zeno, like, glumly predicting his role in this. So that's why Hyoga got to ride with the Zeno. Here you go. Zeno's a man with common sense. Why would he let himself be put in danger like that? It's like he wants to be in the caboose of our caravan. Okay. Carlos, the professional driver, part of Miss Luna's staff. Totally 100% loyal to Miss Luna. Helping out our science team. Okay, the smoke screen, pretty clever. Might hit Zeno if you just shoot blindly. Makes sense. Phase 2 of the net's busted. Uh-oh. Stanley doesn't care. His cheat code level stuff is right up there with the best of the rest of them. How could he possibly outrun bikes? Oh, I guess he didn't outrun the bike. What he did was just run up through the smoke cloud. Up onto this vantage point, which might be up and above the smoke cloud. Okay. Cool shot. Dang, this is a cool shot too. Oh my gosh. So many crazy spreads in this chapter. Just the trails of the bullets, the spiral flying past. And you know, we had a long discussion before about I don't want Dr. Stone to try to make guns cool. This is making them like badass, but it's the villain. It's the villain that has the gun. And the gun doesn't quite suffice. The gun is not almighty in this case. But yeah, I don't know. Just like the expressions of the characters on the bikes too, looking up. The dynamicism is crazy. This series, I gotta say, the range, the fact that it contains both this sort of spread and like the hot air balloon rising off the ground for the first time. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing to get to do both in one series. Ooh, okay. Hidden armor. Tsukasa and Hyoga get hit. It looks like it's not going to be fatal. But this is kind of saying, all right, like, you know, we wonder, is Stanley's cheat code level military expertise, how does that stack up to Tsukasa and Hyoga, the strongest primates whose one-on-one battle skills are also kind of cheat code level? And it was like, okay, well, it's, you know, Stanley got the drop on them that one time because they thought he was in the airplane. Are we ever going to actually see, like, a proper square off between the two? And I think it would be kind of disappointing almost, because if they just make it that Hyoga and Tsukasa win, then there was really no point in running. They could have just fought Stanley. on the other hand, if Stanley just kind of beats them effortlessly or whatever, like if Stanley just wins at all, really, then it kind of devalues Tsukasa, especially as a character. He's the strongest primate. So this is kind of saying, now we don't have to worry about that. Like, now that can't be the way the plot is going to proceed, because they're so, like, handicapped. It's not an option to just fight Stanley. They've been shot in the shoulders. Like, how could they possibly fight at max strength? I don't know. I think that's kind of elegant. Maybe it's a little heavy-handed, because it's these two specifically that get shot, but you can see kind of why they're doing that sort of thing. All this dust and smoke, hitting the bikes could cause a crash and kill Zeno. The best X move went after our main fighters. Yeah, okay, so it's very deliberate too. It's not just, oh, what a coincidence. In an instant, he deduced the optimal targets, Tsukasa and Hyoga's arms. Grabs the binoculars. I wonder what trouble he's in. Zeno will be sure to give us some kind of signal. That's the man he is. Oh, the blinking Morse code. This is something that has actually been done before. There's a very famous incident during the Vietnam War, I believe, or maybe the Korean War, where there was an American POW who was forced to make a video statement that was going to be released to the American media, basically saying that the prisoners of war were being treated A-okay and just fine, and do not worry about it. This was supposed to be kind of like a... I don't know, they do this sort of stuff all the time in war. Trying to save face. And you know, we know that both sides, in any war you can name, have committed litanies of atrocities, but they still try to save face all the time. Anyways, so the prisoner was saying, yes, everything is fine, we're well fed, but then blinking, he blinked out the word torture in Morse code. Isn't that amazing? It just blows my mind that people are capable of such things. Anyways, a somewhat similar situation here. Zeno able to get out some message. What could it be? What could it be? It could be the coordinates, so that even if the science team gets ahead, Zeno's team can still aim for the same place and catch up to them, maybe while they're still doing experiments or building the next thing or whatever. I don't know. They're sending out a plane. How can they escape this final net? You speak to me of surrounding guns and planes. These are nets I have tried to fly by. That's a modified quote from A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. You speak to me of religion, society, and culture, I think. These are... history? I don't know. These are nets I wish to fly by. Okay. As soon as I get a plane flying over this desert, our chances of survival drop to 0. That is assuming their plane can actually fly. Sabotaged? Oh. Saying we took off, the engine went kaput. Our science time bomb finally blew up. When we crashed after the dock flight, we were forced to abandon the plane. When some idiots had leave behind a war machine that the enemy was 10%, billion% sure to steal back. Just a little sugar in the gas tank. Made it so you can only open the fuel filler port from the inside. Sure, turned to carbon sludge and scorched the primitive engine. Sure, okay, alright. Plane down. They make sure to show that the crew survives, albeit totally banged up, because, I don't know, the idea of sending even these villainous people to their sudden explosive deaths is a little dark for our heroes to be doing, I think, but whatever. Really cool shot again. Just the dynamicism of this stuff is phenomenal. Stanley looking perturbed. Looking a little shocked that Senku is able to outmaneuver him 3 times. 3 nets he flew by. Taking these bikes right across South America. Okay, cool. The adventure continues. I really like this plot element of the Morse code message. I think the safest bet is that it's the coordinates. I'm not sure what else it could be. I'm not sure what other methods. Because it's like, if Stanley does something besides just sort of a direct attack, like let's say he tries to manipulate the fact that they still have hostages on board the Perseus. How could they possibly relay that information to Senku, right? The only way that he can possibly interact with Senku is just by straight up going to Senku and interacting with him. Unless there's some super next level thing where Senku realizes that Zeno got a message to Stanley, and thus Stanley is acting in accordance with Zeno's message, which Senku can deduce and thus must take into effect, and thus the message still changes Senku's behavior just by Senku knowing that it was sent. But that might be a little next level even for this series. That's more Fukumoto tier, perhaps. Anyways, very exciting. Let's look forward to the next chapter. Bye-bye for now.